Oh, biceps are getting tired. Come on, biceps, don't fail me now. Another day, another dollar. Well, if you're in my case, it just means another day of class, another day of good old lifting, back and biceps. It feels like on the channel, back and biceps has been the standout. It's been the star. Probably had the most videos over back and biceps because I feel like it's never something that I skip. I love putting volume into my back, and my biceps have been showing some pretty good growth lately. So that's why I put so much energy into it, so much focus into it. But it's not like I want to always be doing that. Of course, I want to balance that with legs and chest and stuff. But yeah, I've done an audit before, and back and biceps was just barely edging out every other lift in terms of like how many times I did it. But you know, that's also taking into account legs can be taken out for like a soccer workout or some other type of thing. That's taking into account, you know, chest can be fractured into many different things, and part of my chest has gone to target muscles recently. That's not taken into account like different skipped lifts and stuff. But it's interesting. I wonder what type of lift I've actually skipped the most, because I've never been the type of person to like always skip legs. But at the same time, I haven't been shy from like skipping any form of it. So like, I feel like target muscles, definitely, that's the one that I skip the most because, you know, chest and triceps, back and biceps, legs, those are naturally the ones that are like the top three that you want to do. So like the muscles that are lagging behind, if I don't have time to work them out, then like I'll skip that. But also, I probably skip cardio more than I'd like to admit. If we're being real, probably cardio is the one that's like, if I don't have time to get on, you know, extra running and stuff in, I get cardio in during the day, so I'm like, nah, I won't do like a complete thing for it. I won't do like a central day for it. But cardio is essential. It's very essential. There's not one part of my split that I really think I should cut out. 5 days of lifting. It's aggressive, but it's also at the point where like it's good. It really isn't even feeling. Even 6 days a week. I think if I bumped it up to 6 days a week, I honestly wouldn't be fighting through fatigue as much as I really think. Like 5 days I've gotten so used to, but like, I don't know. When I'm dealing with such high volume, when I'm dealing with the love of YouTube and the love of lifting, I don't know, it changes some things. It makes things a little different, but at the same time, things are staying pretty equivalent, pretty the same. I'm actually not going to start with pull-ups today because I don't feel like it. I want to change things up a little bit. I want to start with chest supported rows. And then I want to do the lat pull downs and almost kind of do a reverse thing. Do a lot of things upstairs first today and then go downstairs. I don't know, yesterday, changing the order of things, it was exciting. I want to do some of that with back and biceps since I did it with a bunch of different muscle groups yesterday, a bunch of different, you know, cardio, chest, legs, all the different stuff. So let's change some things up. Let's start upstairs and then work our way down. Well, ironically, even starting off, this is the last few sets of 180 for 8 that I'm going to be doing with chest supported rows. So it means pushing very hard is required to get, you know, a good pump, a natural lift with this. So it's going to be a good setup with like really pulling and honing everything. Not much warm up, not much stretching going into it. I always try to shock the muscle a little bit and then get into some stretching, mostly for time purposes. If I had a little bit more time and wasn't getting up so early in the morning, I'd do a better stretching routine, a better kind of back and forth to get me going. But just to start out, chest supported rows, going heavy, but keeping things in control so we can prove that we're ready for that weight increase next workout. Good slow, good in control. The breathing wasn't even as heavy as I'm normally used to. Can't tell if that's a count of control or a count of endurance. Okay, second set. Adjusted the seat a little bit, a little bit more comfort. But you know, it's still same chest strength. And First set was so easy that I have no reservations about how second set's gonna go. Good control on that one as well. I'm really thinking, a starting off rep of this, it really proves that I can start putting a little more than 2 plates on. I'm not even going to take a crazy rest period, and I feel like, just kind of going straight into the third set. Get things moving a little bit, and we'll go ahead and work on lat pull downs next. Really start, opening up our back more, kind of getting a few more stretches in between. From first to second set, I took a decent rest period, but this time, I'm not wanting to take that as much. I just wanted to go, 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 go. And that's it. That's full in control. I'm very confident and very ready for a weight increase next workout. Okay, 2 plates and a 25 loaded up for lat pull downs. We're still working on perfecting it. We're still working on getting things, just as good as they possibly could be. Just as good as they could be to make sure that I'm in control with it. Because I've been having to heave pretty hard. I've been having to really use some body weight to help pull me down. Make sure I can, adequately grab and adequately put that strain on my lats. So it's gonna take a little bit out of me, but doing it for 11 for all 3 sets, I think it's doable. Last time I kind of had a mismatch of weight because I went between 2 plates and adding the 25s, adding different reps and feeling out different things. But this week it's pure 230 all 11 reps. So let's see that strength. Okay, definitely felt at the very beginning kind of a wind uplifting me from not having done pull-ups, but I definitely tired out very fast from the extra weight. Okay, the strain is unbelievable, guys. The pull, the strain, stretching mid rest period, just trying to pull my lats down like that. Oh, there's something different in it. There's some type of different feel that hasn't been as potent, hasn't been as strong before. So yeah, there's really something to it. There's really something to I was talking about this to a friend yesterday. We were talking about the difference between you have to have the balance between science bro and gym bro. I've talked about this in other videos, but we were saying if you go, it's kind of like a scale. If you go pure science, pure optimal hypertrophy, getting as much as possible, getting adequate diet, protein, everything, you're gonna grow at a steady exponential rate. But at the same time, you're always gonna put a ceiling for yourself. You're always gonna limit yourself when maybe you can do more. But if you go purely gym bro approach, you ego lift, you have a higher chance of, shredding muscle fibers, tearing a pec, tearing, a quad, jacking up your knee. You put yourself at so much more risk. But where's the ceiling? I don't know, because I don't see it anymore. It's gone. You actually have the potential to do so much more than you think you're capable of. And that's kind of what you gotta harness sometimes, the power of going much more than you think you're capable of doing, just for the sake of trying to stretch out your muscles a little bit more. So second set, really honing the gym bro type of lifting, just because we're wanting to get to the science-based at some point once we master this. be reps, swung reps, but maximize potential, maximize goal of where we want to get to. You know, I've been looking at my shoes mid-set, and they're a little bit scuffed. They're a little bit scuffed. I don't know when, you designate the right time to get new weightlifting shoes is. If you really wait till they like have holes and, the sole starts talking to you, or if you like truly don't wait to the point where they're destroyed and you just kind of like change them out periodically so it's better for your feet. I mean, with weightlifting, you can almost kind of like lift in socks sometimes, especially when you're doing stuff like heavy squat and different things. So, the flattest shoes are kind of the most important, but I've never bought weightlifting shoes or anything, even though I know that that's been like, that's better for if you're competing. But for me, solid Converses work just fine, and solid Converses are kind of cheap sometimes. So, maybe I'll look into getting some eventually, but I'm happy with my shoes for now. So, but that's a random side tangent. Let's pull out this third set. Okay, I had to fight for some of those. I won't lie, some of those weren't the best looking, but made it out in the end. Managed it in the end. Well, we've already spent like 30 minutes going through our rigorous back beginning of the routine, so I want to speed things up a little bit for hammer curls, but the goal with hammer curls is 35 for 12. Same as we did last time, but I'm looking for perfection with these. I'm looking for absolutely clean, crystal reps. Will I get it? Remains to be seen. If I look at a realistic ceiling, I can probably get 11 or 10 super uber clean reps, but then it's going to falter kind of towards the end, kind of towards the 12. But, that's not the goal. The realistic expectation is not what we're looking for. If I go in with the mindset of I can totally, literally, pun intended, hammer these out, and really just look for that clarity, sometimes it falls. Sometimes it falls behind, not where you really think you can realistically go, but with the mindset of no mistakes, no alterations, really getting everything as clean as possible. Oh, man, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, big old yawn. Fighting through some fatigue this morning. But with before, I had a little bit of rest periods for it, but didn't do it completely early in the morning because, frankly, I didn't have the facilities to do it early in the morning. But fight past that morning fatigue now. Fight past that getting up at 6:30 grind set. I'm actually liking how much in control I feel. It's actually crazy, but there's that looking a little dicey. One last one. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to hype myself up for it, but at the same time, I don't want to set a realistic expectation. But at the same time, I want to smash it. I want to absolutely smash it. I want to prove everything wrong with this. Prove every bit of talking, that it doesn't matter. That I just get up and then I go. go back and watch the camera to see if I cheated any bit, but I don't know. The biceps don't feel like I cheated. Even if I did do it a little bit on the last few reps, really happy with that. I feel like I'm ready to improve next workout. 9 reps of pull-ups feels like a monster. Feels like a monster doing it after lats, but you know, it's a monster I'm interested to see. It's a monster I'm interested to see. How's my performance effective? Is it a different part of my back that's working? You know, obviously it's lats, but also are the different parts gonna, you know, account for the fact that I'm a little bit pre-exhausted? Pre-exhausted pull-ups. That's a good title. That's a good good alliteration going on right there. 9 reps is what we're gunning for. Try to work on my cues a little bit. Try to really get a good grip and go ham. Okay, well the result is many half reps there at the end, but still good half reps. Okay, second and third set now have that new expectation, that new ceiling hit for them where there's going to be some fatigue, some tiredness, but I mean, at the same time, you kind of know at the end, if you're not focused on like getting complete full reps, the half reps, it's going to tone that fatigue in your back. It's really going to push out like, the grind time mindset of those parts of your back that like, they're screaming, "I'm tired, boss." And you say, "Too bad. I don't care. We're working. We're getting our sets ready. And, we're making YouTube videos here. We don't have time for fatigue. We have time for action." Okay. Whew. Crappy 9th rep, crappy last couple of reps, but I don't know. I'm not going to say good work. It definitely needs work, but it's there. It's all about presence. Sometimes all you need is the presence of those clean reps to push you forward to get some, like half reps. Sometimes all you need is the presence of like good vibes to keep you pushing. I mean, the gym this morning, it's much more crowded than some other days. It's a Tuesday. I don't know what that says about gym traffic, gym culture, but like good vibes going on today. Good energy and like, I don't know, just seeing a bunch of people getting up early, grinding alongside me, pushing me forward. It keeps me happy, relaxed, and ready for a good rest of the lift. After this, we got some bicep work, and then rear delt rows to finish the party. And I believe we have a weight increase on rear delt rows. So what a great end to a video. We've had some good weight increases today, or some good weight finishers. Okay, nothing left. Pull-ups are a shot in the dark for sure, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm still happy. Okay, well, biceps have a lot more straightforward of a goal. They're pretty fatigued, and it's like normal. It's like normal for preacher curls lately. With biceps, we're handling our 70 for 12. 70 for 12 all 3 sets. That's the increase. It wasn't for 12 all 3 sets the last time I did it. But what we have is we have length and partials with these. We have the very end cracking out as much as we possibly can do with this. So let's manage our 12 reps first, and then we're going to see some crazy gains in the length and partials. I mean, technically that's what I was doing with pull-ups, was length and partials, but let's be real, let's be honest, guys. My pull-ups, we don't want them. We don't want them. We throw them away and we move on to the next thing. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is just push it forward. Push it going on. Come on. Biceps are getting tired. Come on, biceps. Don't fail me now. Biceps. What is going on? I have 70s on here. What are you doing? One more rep. Okay. That was weird. The strain on biceps. I haven't felt that before. Okay. First set was weird. First set was strange, but I have a hypothesis. That, with how much I was doing on hammer curls, with how perfect it was, even without looking at the film, I think my biceps are already pretty exhausted from the fact that, like, I hit hammer curls pretty hard, and I'm doing it in different timing. I did hammer curls closer to when I'm doing bicep reps, so I don't know. This has been interesting. Like, it's really showcasing this and the last lift, and so many different experiments before. It really showcases the order of your lifts. It's really this mental thing that really changes so much of how you lift. Like, if you're constantly switching it up, you don't have this control in how much you're actually lifting in terms of your fatigue. It really is this giant math equation where it's not the same. You have actually very, very, very different outputs depending on when you place something in a lift. And I don't know if it's mental, I don't know if it's physical, but what I would say is it's probably a combination of both. So I don't know, this is interesting. I can't confidently say that 70 is gonna look crispy now, but I'm gunning for it anyways. A little bit better that time, a little bit better with the strain, but still surprising. I'm in shock. Okay, one more set of these. Really focusing on the length and partials, really focusing on driving out the rest of everything until root out rows. Root out rows with the weight increase. I'm interested to see what that would do, because it's a part of my back that I don't necessarily work out the entire time. Maybe some during pull-ups, maybe help me a little on some other stuff, but in my opinion, I think the rear delts are very, very, very specified for the very end of the workout, for the very end of the middle back. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I got to focus on the here and now. I got to focus on the fact that bicep needs just a little bit more. Okay, come on. Two more clean. Come on. Yeah, that's it. Biceps are completely fried. Biceps more done and cooked than I thought they'd be. Now, a quick disclaimer before I start this. the dumbbells are taken up. So it's going to be chest supported rear delt rows on a machine. That changes things a little bit. That changes things. What's 75 plus 75? 140, 150. So we're working with 150 on this. It changes things from dumbbells because machine is like an entirely different strain, an entirely different pull. So it's something you kind of have to take into account as you're doing it compared with dumbbells, which has a lot more factors where things aren't set up perfectly for you. And in the spirit of that, I'm going to go ahead and move the slider to 10. So technically we're doing 160. Try to put a little extra emphasis on my strength, so once I get to the dumbbells, things feel even better because I know I can go even harder than that. 10 reps. Oh my God. Ugh. That's it right there. That's it. We want to keep pushing that for 2 more. Okay. First set was the tone setter. You know, similar to the other parts of the workout, good and bad. First set really sets that tone, and man, the intensity on this last one. It really wants me to make these last 2 reps really show out my capabilities. So, you know, let's not get fatigued. Let's really feel out these rear delts and show why we're strong. One more, come on. Come on. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That strength feels crazy. Makes me feel like the Hulk. Last little set. Little dainty set. No. Last little monster set before we cut to a car talk. I'm gonna go ahead and manage this effectively, catch a good hot shower, maybe get some breakfast depending on if lunch looks good or not. Might just go with a fresh apple if it doesn't look the greatest, but either way, get some food in my system and then get a good car talk in, get a good recap of what's been going on. So get our deep breaths in, and then we're gonna gun it. Jam it out. Oh my God. Felt so good, homies. Alright, let's recap in the car talk. So, the lift is now over. I'm kind of over here in editing bay, just kind of finishing up some data on some new videos. And today was really, really good. I mean, I feel like I alternated so much, and I felt like there was a lot of moments where, you know, maybe things weren't optimal. Maybe I wasn't pushing as much weight, but you know, there's something you realize when you're in weightlifting where it's not always about the ego. It's not always about the lifting. It's not like you have to always be the guy lifting the heaviest amount of stuff. Sometimes that's just not what like a label of success is. Sometimes it's just putting in those effort. Like the consistency is more of what it means to have like good lifts rather than always showing out every single time, always clear reps, you know. Sometimes you need to have those scrappy reps to really prove yourself a little bit. But yeah. Good day today. I'm very happy with how everything has gone. I'm going to work on editing the last few bits of this video. here. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.